My friends, welcome to the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, the unofficial, official, number one Nintendo podcast. It's a great day to be podcasting. I am your familiar host, EmSwizzle, and this is episode number 97. This is episode 97. We are very close to the episode 100. It's coming in a few weeks. It's going to be something. But for today, we have some big topics, and we have a guest. Let me break it all down for you as the introduction. In terms of topics today, we of course have the Nintendo news segment to kick things off. Nintendo revealed a freaking horror game. We dive right into that in a few minutes. We have some more news. Then me and our guest, who I'll talk about in a minute, go over our Game Awards for the mid-year. So normally the Game Awards happen at the end of the year and people give the awards best game of the year, best soundtrack of the year, best multiplayer. No. Me and our guest did it for the mid-year games. So everything before July 2024, we gave awards to in terms of Nintendo games and some third-party things as well. After we give out our awards, though, we answer your questions you have asked us as a fun segment. And if you're wondering who us is, who our guest is Mac from the YouTube channel, the Nintendo group called Switch Stop. So Switch Stop is a YouTube channel run by a few good men over there at Switch Stop, and Mac is one of the three, and he is joining us for this show today. I recorded the intro after the show. He's a great guy. He's a funny guy. And there was one video of his that sold me on him being on the podcast, and I talk about it right when we jump on the call. You'll hear that in just about like 30 seconds or so. He's a great dude, very funny, and our topics, our discussion, made for one of the best podcasts you will ever hear. Believe me and mark my words on that. So you don't want to miss it. If you want to skip anywhere in the podcast, to the news, to the awards, there are timestamps in the description. But without further ado, let's have Bruce Buffer read the intro and let's get to me and Mac talking about Nintendo news and specifically that weird Nintendo horror game reveal. Let's go.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the number one Nintendo podcast.
Mac from Switch Stop, welcome to the show.
How are you doing, Max?
Listen, it goes good over here. It goes great. It's a good Friday as we are recording.
It is.
Listen, man. First thing I have to say, I've already introduced you during the intro. But I will say this. Listen, I was one day looking around in my YouTube recommended, and I see this video pop up. It says 1,000 facts about Nintendo or something like that.
That's the exact title, I think.
And I watched this video.
You watched the whole thing?
I watched, I think, most of it. I definitely watched the Animal Crossing part because that's my favorite franchise. And I get to the end, I'm like, who is this guy? And I'm like, you're coming on the podcast. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on. This is awesome. I'm excited to talk about it.
Of course, we have tons of news to run through. We can go ahead and jump into the first topic and probably, honestly, the biggest topic, the weirdest topic.
For sure the weirdest.
So I'll go ahead and read the news here and then we can talk about it openly. Yeah. So, Nintendo has released a trailer for a potential horror game. Can I get your thoughts on that first?
This is so cool. Like, when's the last time Nintendo released a mature-rated video game? Or have they ever?
I wonder if they like published something that was mature in the past. I don't know.
I can't think of anything.
Nothing comes to mind, but I also don't really know the history very well.
Yeah.
So they dropped this trailer. It was only 15 seconds, and I'm sure the listeners who are a bit more into the whole Nintendo space have probably seen this 15-second trailer, and it's not like, the game's title overview trailer. Yeah. All they titled the video was Emio. That was it. And so we can kind of get that the game is called Emio or something like that. The game's rated M for mature, and Emio kind of roughly translates, I believe, in Japanese to smiling man. So smiling man, Emio. And it seems to be a freaking horror game. Listen, here's what's really interesting to me, and I want to get your take on this. When you watch the trailer, right away, it says rated M for mature. Now, that's expected if you're making a horror game, but this game feels like it's probably close, maybe to launch, and that sounds crazy, but like, if the game is already rated.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that, because like, how are they going to rate it if there's no game yet? So, interestingly, do you think it could be like a Switch 2 like launch title or like launch year title?
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that they've launched with a rated M game. Freaking Zombie U for the Wii U was a launch, I think.
Yeah.
God, I don't know if that's a launch. I think it's definitely on Switch 2, because if you're making a horror game, just bring it over there, I feel like. Yeah. I think it'll be on Switch 2. I don't know the launch time, because even if it is rated already, they could push it. I guarantee you, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is probably done. They're just waiting until January.
Yeah.
I feel like they might wait until like March, which could end up being a launch title. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say.
But it's so weird that they announced this the way they did. Not in a direct, not in like an announcement, teaser trailer. It's barely even a teaser. It's the guy with the smiling face, and then the characters on the left side, which I went to Google Translate and figured that out, and smiling friend, like you said. It's so odd.
It was just a weird, and it's like not, it's cryptic too. It's like just called Emio. No release date, no like, hey, tune into the trailer where we talk more about this. Just Emio.
Yeah.
Weird, super weird. But we do actually have, as our next piece of news, a follow-up rumor about this Emio game. I'll read it quick because it is, in fact, a rumor. But the team behind the Emio horror game may have been pretty much accidentally revealed. So 2 days before this Emio trailer dropped, the CEO of a game studio called Bloober Team was interviewed, and they kind of specialize in horror games and pretty much horror games only. And the CEO of that team had this to say, if my mouse will work, perfect. Project M. By the way, first thing, Project M is a game that Bloober Team is working on. Do we think M and Emio have any significance?
When I first read Project M, my brain immediately went to that Smash mod, so like I got to throw that out of the way. Project M, Emio, it doesn't even start with an M, like, but it's M. I don't know. Like, I guess it could, but I don't know. Like, Project M for a Nintendo-esque game, like my brain goes to like Mario. Yeah. Like, I don't think it's a Mario horror game, but like, I have no clue. It could be Emio.
A Mario horror game would go hard.
I think that's just Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's the game. But they say Project M, although its budget is significantly smaller than the games we are working on at Bloober Team, is extremely important due to our long-term plans. In addition, we are working on it in cooperation with the world's best game creators for Nintendo platforms, so we cannot afford to create just a decent game. And people are kind of linking all of that said, Nintendo platforms, Project M, all of that. They're kind of linking that and this Emio game together. Do you buy into this?
I think this is possible. I don't think there's a lot of rumors out there that I think are pretty baloney, but I think this one, like, there's some legs to this one. I think things are lining up here, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Especially because you have a studio that only does horror games. Project Emio, like, it's just all the pieces kind of aligned. Nintendo platforms, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
That's something though, man. Nintendo horror games. We're gonna have to follow up. Yep.
What other games has Bloober Team made in the past? Do you know?
I don't know the specifics, but I did check their website. I think very popular like horror games, and they've won like awards for them. I think like best horror game on Switch. They've made some very notable ones, but I'm not into them, so I couldn't recite the names. But I definitely had heard of them before.
Okay, cool.
So if they are behind it, we're having some horror experts behind it, which is going to be interesting, dude. But they also say it's a low budget game. They say, what did they said? The budget is significantly smaller than the games we were working on at Bloober Team. Do you think that they have a smaller budget because they're unsure, or?
Honestly, I think it's because it's a horror game. Like, notably in the past, horror games, horror movies, they seem to have lower budgets because like they can fit more of like scares in like a lesser budget. I don't think this is too significant to where it's like it's going to hinder the product. I think they've probably got a plan in mind. Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm just freaking like, bro, that was not what I expected to be seeing on my feed on Wednesday morning. Emio
Nintendo's
trailer.
been doing that all year this year, dropping like, I don't know, Switch 2 at like 2 a.m. our time.
I mean, yeah. And listen, I had complained about that Switch 2 thing being at 3 a.m. and everyone was like, Max, it was 3 p.m. in Japan. Understandable, but you can do it at a better time. Maybe like, I don't know, 8 a.m. What, 9 in Japan? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a better time for it. It's still got all the traction that it deserves, but I don't know. It was just weird. And then I have to reach for my mouse here so I can scroll to our next piece of news. This one dropped just last night as of recording. That would be Thursday night for our listeners. There have been new Nintendo Switch Online games released. Did you see this, Mac?
I did see this. 3 Starfy games, correct?
Yes, the 3 Starfy games. Now, Starfy was kind of a niche series that was on the Game Boy Advance and the DS. There were 5 games, I believe, in the Starfy series.
Yeah.
4 on the Game Boy? 3 on the Game Boy Advance, 2 on the DS, right?
I believe so, but only one of them released in North America, correct?
Yeah, I believe it was the last one. Was it just called the Legendary
Legend
Starfy?
Yeah,
something like that. So the 3 have released in North America. I mean, everywhere. The first 3. The only problem is, listen, like we get Game Boy Advance games on Switch Online. That's very fun and that's cool. The problem is these were never released outside of Japan. And the reason why that's a problem is because none of these games are translated. If you watch the trailer that they put out, if you watch that, everything's in Japanese. So you can't get the full experience. I don't know. Like, it's kind of tough.
It feels kind of like an Earthbound Mother situation all over again, but with Starfy. Like, they didn't release the original game in the North America, and then they didn't, translate the games later down the line. I don't see a world in which they translate it unless there's a new Starfy game coming up, which I'm not really sure how likely that is, seeing as it's been almost 20 years, I think, since the last game. So, yeah.
This is a mind-boggler. Honestly, I was going to like maybe play it and get into it before I found out it's in Japanese. I can still play it and get some enjoyment out of it, but it's just like I'm just gonna skip through all the dialogue. Like, I kind of want to know that stuff. The story is what gets you invested, Yeah. But it is mostly just a platformer, though, so you could still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to pull out the freaking Google Translate and just like,
or you'll just have to go to the Wikipedia and like read the plot as you're playing the game. Just go to the plot, like a summary or something.
That's smart. But what you could also is, I don't think anyone's made a ROM hack for Starfy, but is there like an English translation or something?
There has got to be. Is there?
I kind of want to find out. I have to search real quick. English Starfy. Does it exist? English Starfy patch. Oh yeah, these exist. So why would you ever play it on Switch Online? Yeah, it exists. Which one would you rather play? Switch Online and it's like nice and clear?
Yeah.
Or emulation, but it's English?
I would probably go for emulation. Don't tell Nintendo that. But yeah.
Don't tell them. But emulation is probably the way. Either way, those are all on Switch Online. Does this mean that we're getting a new Starfy game? Last thing.
I wouldn't say it's out of the question. I think Starfy is a character that, like, I think could be morphed into like a new series. Like, I could see them even taking like a like a Kirby in the Forgotten Land route with him and going 3D. Like, I don't know. I think Starfy is one of those series that they've got a good back catalog of games. They've got 5 games. It's not like it was like a one-off that like went away forever. But also it's been 20 years. I'm not sure how Nintendo's feeling about Starfy.
Yeah. It's been a long time. What I could see, and probably still don't see, but what I could see is like a little eShop game, kind of like how they did Box Boy. Like just a little $10 Starfy game. I don't think it would happen, but yeah, it'd be cool. $10.
Dip their toes into modern Starfy. I'd be so down.
Of course. Then hopefully it blows up and they make new Super Starfy Bros. But that's for decades down the line.
Yeah.
Our next topic here, our next piece of news is probably the one I have the most thoughts on.
Okay.
And have the most possibly enraged thoughts on. Okay. So our topic here reads, Nintendo Switch Sports Basketball has released. Okay. We got this announced in the June Direct last month, June 18th. And we were told it would release in summer. And that summer came quick. Christmas came early because it released July 9th, I believe. By the way, they said July 9th. It was like July 9th at 9 p.m. Like that was when it released in the US.
Weird.
I don't like the timing. But have you played this? And let me get your full thoughts if you have.
So I tried downloading the new update on my Switch this morning, and then my Switch was like buzzing so loud. Like I think at the beginning of the podcast, you could hear it. Like it sounded like it was taking off for flight. So I haven't played it yet, but I think it's ridiculous that they're even updating Nintendo Switch Sports.
Yeah, that was weird. Listen, when I saw it in that Direct, I didn't hate it. I was interested. New sport coming to Spoko Square.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I can't hate on more content, but it was definitely weird to see it after 2 years of it being out. Not even being announced, 2 years of it being out to get a new update. That was weird.
It's so frustrating because I think my biggest reaction to a game getting announced during the entire Switch era was Nintendo Switch Sports. Like I was literally like jumping and screaming in my chair, like, oh my God, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
The game just did not live up to my hype in the slightest. I don't think anybody's hype it lived up to. I think had they released basketball, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I would have been more excited. I would have played it because basketball is one of my favorite games on Wii Sports Resort.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't, how have you played it? How is it?
So I've played it. Okay. So I have some thoughts. Listen. Okay.
Okay.
So it's similar. It's pretty much the same as Wii Sports Resort. I have not played the 3-point challenge. So in terms of like online play with the basketball, it's good. There's no connection problems. The only flaw that I hate, and it's not Nintendo's fault, if you are not in a call or playing locally with your teammate, the whole match is screwed. Because I played 5 games. Okay, I played 5 matches of this over the course of like half an hour or so. I'm out there acting like, you know, a pro NBA player. I'm waiting until they reach in and try to steal the ball, dribble pass the ball. I played 5 matches, 4 times. 4 out of the 5. My teammate was just shooting threes every single time. And they were not even close to making it. It was not remotely close to going in. Some would airball, some would just go off the backboard. Like, what do you do? We have to win. And so I lost all those games. Yeah, that's the only flaw. Like, I can't tell them, hey, stop shooting three. You're not going to make any of them. I think out of all those 4 games where my teammates would just shoot threes, I think only 1 went in. Like, out of all 4 teammates, 1 shot went in.
That's so annoying.
So yeah, it just sucked. Like, whenever they would get the ball, I'm like, all right, plays over, just shoot a 3. Like, it's just not good. Like, that almost made it unplayable. And it's not, you know, Nintendo's fault. It's just like, what the heck?
Also, do you know the decision making behind making it 2v2 instead of 3v3?
I don't. I don't. But 3v3, that would be nice. They should let you like play 2v2 or 3v3. Yeah. Wait, was it 3v3 in
It was 3v3 in Wii Sports Resort.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a weird one. I do know that because it's online, there's 4 actual people, and I think, they like rotate who starts with the ball. So maybe it'd be harder to do if there were 6 people. I don't know. Is that maybe? No, it wouldn't. I don't know.
Because they have soccer.
Tough. Yeah, yeah, they have that. They have soccer for 8 people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a bit weird.
The reasoning. It is kind of weird, but
I'm thinking the only way like I think they rationalize is like they've got 2 Joy-Cons, like 2 people.
Oh yeah,
co-op.
Yeah,
but
that's probably it. Well, I don't know, because you can connect 4 Joy-Cons. God,
it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. They should have added in 2v2, 3v3, 4v4 might get a little bit much, but they should give you some options.
Yeah.
But I have not played the 3-point challenge yet. That I have to play. I just didn't have it. I assumed it was fine. I didn't really have any interest. It's just shooting, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, stop shooting threes. If you're playing Switch Sports basketball online,
well, you can shoot threes if you're good at it, but if you're not good at it, pass the ball.
If you're good. There was this guy named Colton who, by the way, not to like call anybody out, you can kind of, and I hope this is not rude, you can kind of tell the person's age by what their character looks like. Am I wrong for that?
I don't think so. I think you can also tell by their name on the Switch, like if it's just their first name, like, yeah.
And the reason I say that is because when I look at those, and maybe it's not even, it's just those freaking fake me's, those Switch Sport characters or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They look so young. Maybe that's why.
That makes sense. Because I always played as a me, but the new kids, they're probably playing as the whatever they're called, Sportsmates, I think.
And why do they look so young?
I still will never understand why they didn't just go with me's. Why did they have to make like Xbox avatars as like the characters? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, even with like Miitopia, like they didn't add some random characters and it was still me's. Like I'm not sure why they didn't do that, but weird. Switch Sports Basketball. Mac, if you ever play it, you have to let us know how it is. Next time that we have you on the show, we're gonna get your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
But it's a mess. But that is our news from the week. But our next segment is huge. Listen, I didn't even know I was gonna talk about this or have this be the main topic of the show until about a few days ago. I was like, this is it. This is great. We, for our next topic, are going to discuss our mid-year Nintendo Switch Awards. I should have actually done this last week because I think last week was like the mid-year.
It's not like we're doing this in November or something. It's still July. We're good.
Yeah, that's good. So, mid-year Nintendo Switch Awards. Let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to me and Mac's Nintendo Mid-Year Awards. Yeah! Whoa, it's something here. So we have 5 categories that we have chosen here, and we have picked the winning game for each one. The 5 categories are Best Remake/Remaster, Best Game Soundtrack, Most Underrated Game of the Mid-Year, Worst Game of the Mid-Year, and Game of the Mid-Year. I feel like those are the 5 juiciest categories.
Can I throw one in? Can I throw an award?
Yes, of course.
Best Announcement of the Mid-Year.
Oh, see, I thought about that, but there haven't been too many that like blew my socks off. We can do that. Yeah. Let's do that one first. So we have 6 categories. Best Announcement. Since you asked me, I'll go first. God, it would have to be from this last June Direct.
Yeah.
Once again, nothing like blew my socks off. The only thing, I'm going to be very honest, the only thing in the last Direct, because I doubt that you've seen my reaction, the only thing that made me like go, oh, in the last Direct, Mario and Luigi, and believe it or freaking not, Nintendo Switch Sports Basketball. I might be forgetting something, but I think those are the only 2 things I was like, oh, Endless Ocean Luminous. Sorry, was a cool announcement.
Yeah.
I probably give it Probably Mario and Luigi. Metroid Prime 4 and stuff was cool, but Mario and Luigi, I probably.
That's what I was thinking. I think Mario and Luigi was the most surprising one because everybody thought that series was just dead. I think Metroid Prime 4 was cool, but weirdly enough, the entire time I was watching it, I thought it was a remake of Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Like the entire until I saw Metroid Prime 4 Echoes. Oh, wait, no, that's not. What is it? Crap.
What's it called?
We gotta have. Wait,
hold on. Now I'm forgetting it.
Beyond.
Beyond. There we go. I forgot it too for a minute. I forgot it too. Beyond. There you go.
Was it? Oh yeah, I didn't even think it was Metroid Prime 4. I think I had just like ruled that out. But no, I think I'd have to go Mario and Luigi Brothership. I think that's one of the most exciting announcements of the year for sure.
And they did it first thing, which was also like very exciting. Honestly, now like rethinking the entire thing, the best announcement might have been the announcement of the June Direct. I mean, like that was more hype than.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Probably Mario and Luigi.
Or maybe this isn't a game, but you know, the Switch 2 somewhat getting announced to be announced.
Oh my god, I forgot that was even on the table. That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's either Mario and Luigi or the whole Switch 2 thing. One of those. But our next category, I'm going to start with you here, and then I'm going to go after. Okay. We begin, or well, we go at we now go to, because we began with the announcement. We now go to the best remake / remaster. So, you know, there's a lot of things on the table. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. We got Mario versus Donkey Kong. We got another Code Recollection.
The year of the remake.
Paper Mario. The year of the freaking remakes, Mac. What do you give this award to? Make it dramatic.
Well, this game, I can't make it dramatic. It's Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. It's got to be I'm pretty sure we're in a Mario RPG renaissance right now. Like we had just gotten Super Mario RPG remake. We got 1000 Year Door, one of the most beloved Paper Mario games, if not the most of all time. We're getting Mario and Luigi Brothership later this year?
In November.
Like, where was this earlier in the Switch's life cycle? Where were the RPGs? Or at least the good ones.
Yeah, like, it's kind of weird that they drop them all at once, kind of thing. I wish they were spread out more. But you're going with Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. I gotta respect it. And you want to know how much I respect it, Mac?
How much?
My award for the best remake and remaster is also Paper Mario the 1000 Year Door.
It's just gotta be.
It has to be. Listen, I was considering a lot of different things, like the Mario and Donkey Kong. I almost picked Mario and Donkey Kong until I remembered, oh snap, Paper Mario came out. That game, I didn't play the original because I was very young when it came out. I didn't play it. And then after all these years, I just like never really thought to ever go back. So I was like, all right, when that comes out, I'll play it. And so I did, and I beat it. And I think that was just like one of the most fun games I've ever played. So it's fun, you know, as a game. And as a remake, it looks freaking beautiful. Like one of the first things I said was like, it looks beautiful. So I definitely picked that. Best remake.
Awesome.
/ remaster goes to Paper Mario 1000 Year Door for both of us. Then, best game soundtrack, Mac. We have to go to you.
So stupid.
Oh boy. What is it?
I wrote down Just Dance 2024. No, that game came out in 2023.
Songs? Oh yeah, it did. Oh yeah, so that
so
can't
it doesn't
even count. Oh. Man.
No. I'm going crazy enough Paper Mario 1000 Year Door again. I think the remakes of all the tracks in that are all like so well done. I think they're really, really good.
That's actually a very smart pick. Because like, bro, that game's perfect everywhere. Soundtrack, graphics. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
I didn't pick it, but that's a good one. 1000 Year Door got some bops in there. Do you have a favorite song?
I can't think of any at the top of my head, but
I can't either.
I think it just fits the vibe of the game like perfectly.
Yeah, and like every song is so different, I feel.
Yeah. They're very unique.
Yeah, for sure. My pick, and I went back and listened to a lot of it before I made this pick because I was very careful here. My pick for the best game soundtrack of the mid-year is Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
Really? I went ahead and listened to that last night. I don't know how I feel about that soundtrack.
I thought it was very, like, the title screen was mellow. It had some very fitting songs. It just felt like you were solving a puzzle with Mario. I don't know. It just felt mellow. And some of it kind of reminded me of my favorite Mario game, Mario 3D World. I'm not sure if that's controversial or not, but
no, a lot of the guys on Switch Up say 3D World's the best Mario game. Personally, mine is controversial. My favorite, I don't think it's the best one. My favorite is 64. I think it's the most fun, but I don't know if it's the best.
Yeah, hard for me to say, man. This sounds so bad being a Nintendo YouTuber. I've played Mario 64, have not gotten to the end of it.
Well, it's interesting. I had done about 110 stars like 3 years ago when 3D All Stars came out. Never beat it. I never went and beat Bowser. I just wanted to 100% it before I actually beat it, and I eventually did, like a month ago. But
I'm like, I have some stars, but never got to the end. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, best game soundtrack, Mario versus Donkey Kong.
I like the pick. It's a unique soundtrack for sure.
I think the title screen, booting it up on launch day, was my favorite. It's like so mellow, and after you beat a level, like that little do like the little upbeat sound, that was cool too. I just like that one a lot.
I like it.
Then Mac, we go to you. Most underrated game of the mid-year.
This is the easiest one by far.
Really?
It's Princess Peach Showtime. The hate that game gets is insane. Like, I personally don't think it's like game of the year worthy, but like I think for its audience, it's a decently made game. I think the puzzles in it are pretty fun. I to be fair, I only played the demo, so I haven't like played the entire game.
Oh, okay.
But from the time I had with it, I thought it was a pretty fun game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the demo gives you a pretty good taste of the entire game. I beat it. My only thing is, like, when you get to the end of the game, it's almost anticlimactic because, Mac, the boss, and I don't know if I'm just good at the game, not to gas myself up. With the final boss, I promise you, I think you just stand there and go to the left and the right, and you can spam B and win. That was like the only anticlimactic, like, I didn't really like that, I wanted a challenge. So, I mean, but point stands. The game was good. It got a lot of unnecessary hate. It wasn't my favorite, but I don't hate it by any means.
I think part of the reason is we hadn't gotten a Princess Peach game in like so long, since like the DS era. And when we saw Princess Peach was getting a game, we're like, oh, it's going to be like Super Princess Peach. And then it was nothing like it. So I think it kind of like, it wasn't exactly what everybody wanted, but for a game, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty underrated.
Yeah, it was something. But my most underrated game of the mid-year, I am actually picking a third-party game. Because I had said in our notes here that, mainly first-party stuff, but if you want to say a third-party game, you can. And I chose one third-party game in this whole list. And this game actually just released not very long ago, and I already see it being swept under the rug. It's not being talked about, in that game is Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble.
Really?
Yes. That game is underrated, I feel. I feel, it's not the greatest Monkey Ball game out there. It is missing some things. But for $50, you got your story mode. You got a ton of online mini games. You can customize. I mean, this is like basic Monkey Ball stuff, but like it's just like it's been so fun to play over the past few weeks that it's been out. I love it a lot, and I wish it would get more attention. Like just playing the online mini games.
Yeah, because a lot of the new Monkey Ball games, they've been getting a lot of hate, right?
Yeah.
Like, so is it kind of like a return to form in a way?
No. It's hard to say because some of the mini games fall flat and stuff.
Yeah.
Some overall, I've been enjoying it. I feel like it does need more attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've been having fun with it, and I don't see a lot of people talk about it. So that's why it's my underrated game of the mid-year. This next category, though, is a bit of a rough one. We might have some conflicting answers.
I think
here.
I'm gonna get I think a good amount of hate for my pick.
I don't know. Then I might as well. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I kind of went safe, but okay. Our next category is the worst game of the mid-year. Mac, go ahead.
It's Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Guess what, brother? I'm in full agreement.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I worded that wrong. I didn't pick it. I did not pick it. Sorry, but I didn't like it either. That was what I meant.
Number one, we just didn't need it on the Switch. Like, it just felt like the most unnecessary port remake of all time. And then the remake, it felt like shoehorned. It didn't feel like they gave it any love in any way. It felt like they just needed a game for the summer and like just whipped this up in like a month. Yeah.
My thing about it was actually the game itself. I didn't like the whole level structure of it as opposed to like Luigi's Mansion 1. I didn't like, and maybe it's a skill issue, I didn't like how hard it was. Like, bro, they would throw you into a boss fight, and it's not a simple boss fight. I said it last week. It's not a simple boss fight like you jump on the guy's head. You have to figure something out, and they give you no direction. Like, it took me like half an hour to figure out the first boss fight, like before I even started it. Like, it was rough in that way. And then like even later on, it just like it kind of got hard to figure things out. It was rough, but
I also think Luigi's Mansion just like isn't my type of game. I don't know. I don't find that series that fun. It's disappointing because I think Luigi's a cool character. I think like the ghosts and the vacuum, I think all of that's cool. It's just I don't really find any of the puzzles that like fun or anything at all. So it's kind of disappointing because I was looking forward to playing Luigi's Mansion 2 because I had only played Luigi's Mansion 3 and I liked that game decently, but I don't know, it didn't do it for me.
Have you played Mansion 1?
No, I haven't.
That I think you would like. Like that's my favorite Luigi's Mansion and probably somewhere in my top 30 games of all time. Like that one's fun.
30 games. Yes. Wow.
So like it's not very high up, but it's like
it's on there. It's on the list. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was fun for me. They have it on 3DS and of course GameCube. I would recommend it. It's like 6 hours. It's not too long.
Okay.
It's
I'll
nice.
have to try it out.
My worst game of the mid-year. Listen, this was really tough because I actually have been liking a lot of things that, Nintendo has been putting out, but there is one game that I still kind of like and maybe would be on the more positive side of it. And that game, my worst game of the mid-year, is Endless Ocean Luminous. And when this game came out, I was pretty high on it. I was playing some online games. I had admitted that the story mode sucks because it does. But I was pretty high on it. I was having a fun, relaxing time finding all these creatures, playing online games. But there's a couple things that make it fall flat now. Number one, there's no reason to go back to it. Number two, I mean, I said it before, but like some of the story mode levels are just cutscenes. You don't do anything, and it's anticlimactic. I said it before. There was this level, Mac, or level quotes, where this shark was about to attack you. He was about to attack you. They played some intense music, and then it seems like this big intense moment. The shark just swam away, and like it's just so anticlimactic. I hated it. So that part sucks, and I just have not gone back to the game. And it's not all bad, but it doesn't beat Mario versus Donkey Kong. Does not beat even Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Doesn't really beat that. It doesn't beat any of the other games this year. So it by default has to be the worst game of the mid-year.
I think that's fair.
that was a rough one to play or not to play. But our next game, on a positive note, or our next category, is the game of the mid-year, the best game of the mid-year. This is a big one, a lot of things to consider. Mac, what do you have?
This was the easiest one for me to pick.
Oh.
And it's not a Nintendo game.
Oh.
It's third party.
Oh boy.
It's Animal Well.
I've not played this.
It is such a great game. It's the Donkey Big Mode developers, the new production company.
Yes.
This game is like one of the most creative, fun, short experiences that like I think I've ever had. Like the puzzles in this game are like they just tickle my brain. Like the whole experience is just like I loved all the puzzle rooms and the even the collectible power-ups throughout the game that like change the way you move around the world entirely. I fell in love with it. I think it's an amazing game.
What's the like story? Sell me on it.
There's no story.
Oh, okay, because I know nothing about it. Okay.
There's no story. You're just like this little frog-looking guy moving around trying to solve puzzles and beat the game. That's basically it. It doesn't try and be anything more than it is, but I think it does exactly what it's trying to do.
Okay, I've never played it. Do you know how much it is? How much? Like 20 or so?
It might be 25? 25, I think. Maybe less.
I'm going to have to try it because I never played it, and that's your mid-game of the mid-year. Yep. I have to try that now.
Not the mid-game of the year, the game of the mid-year.
Mid-game of the year. We should have had a freaking category for that.
The mid-game of the year,
The mid-game of the mid-year. There we go. But my game of the mid-year is a super, super spicy take, and I guarantee you not one person listening has this as their mid-game of the year, and people who have watched this podcast probably know what my game of the mid-year, not mid-game of the year, I keep like mixing those up. Game of the mid-year is Another Code Recollection.
Really?
That game, it doesn't look amazing, but the story is everything. The story of the game sold me on everything. I went back and bought the 2 original games for the Another Code series. The whole game was great. I have 4 Switch games that you can... So I have a shelf of games. There are 4 that are facing outwards. Animal Crossing, Pikmin 4, Mario Wonder, and Another Code Recollection. Those are like the big 4 favorite games.
Those are like your Mount Rushmore of Switch games?
That is the Mount Rushmore. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Another Code Recollection is that game. Once again, it kind of controls weird. It might look a little weird, but the story and the twists and the turns.
What kind of game is it? I'm not too familiar with Another Code.
So it's like a visual novel type thing. So the story kind of sells you on most of it. There's 2 different stories. It's like 2 games in one into this whole remake. So I actually could have said this for the remake and remaster, but I didn't because I didn't want to duplicate here. But the first story, I give you that. If I can recall correctly. You're playing as this girl named Ashley. I think her mother passed, and I'm trying to recall correctly. I could be wrong, but she got a letter from her dad to come to this island and meet him. And like, that doesn't sound like the most interesting thing, but when you get there and when you start, dude, it's something. Spoilers, you meet her fake dad and he strings you along. It's a game, dude. So that's fun.
You know what? I might have to try it out. How much is it?
It's a full 60. So
full 60?
It's risky, but I really like it. And maybe it's just me, so I don't want to like mislead people into thinking it's the greatest game, but I really enjoyed it. So
cool.
It's fun. And it's like 20 hours worth of content. So it's pretty worth it if you are enjoying it. There is a demo though, so maybe play that and that'll tell you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So those are our mid-year game awards.
Yes.
To the mid-year. That's so difficult now that I've
half year. We just need to get rid of the word mid.
Games of the half year. There you go.
Yeah.
Mid-year. Yeah, mid was not the word to use. What is
your mid game of the mid-year though?
Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Yeah, I would have to say that as well.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I was getting so much heat though, because I had said that before that I didn't like the game. I was getting some heat. Guys, no one send Mac heat. Send it all to me, okay? Please. Please.
I can take it.
Our next segment is everyone's favorite segment, the Answering Your Questions segment. Mac, do you know what we do over there?
We answer questions.
That would be correct. Let's go ahead and let's get over there. Ladies and gents, you've made it to the greatest segment of the show, the Answering Your Questions segment, where me and Mac answer your questions you have left for us. Quick little run through. If you do want to ask any questions, I post every single Wednesday in the morning on my YouTube community tab. I usually put a funny, cursed Nintendo image as the picture for it. This week it was Link, I think, on a piranha plant. It was okay. Something weird, but if you want to leave your questions down there, there's a link below. There's a link in the description. It says sources and links. Click that, then click the link that says EmSwizzle's community tab, or just subscribe to my main channel. You can find it there as well. And if you are a channel member of the Swizzle Prime tier, you get your questions guaranteed. That is it. Mac, let's dive into the first question. I'm going to start with you, then I'll go over to me. The Top Golf VR asks, do you think Nintendo Land would ever get a remake/sequel?
No. Unfortunate as it is to say, I don't think we're getting a Nintendo Land anything ever again. I think Nintendo Land fits into the category of the 1-2 Switches and the Wii Sports, where it's kind of a tech demo to show off how that console works. Wii Sports obviously was like a phenomenon. Like that obviously was going to become a series. 1-2 Switch questionably is a series. I'm not even sure if we can count everybody 1-2 Switch. I don't even know how you remake this game. I think sequel much more likely, but I think the gamepad was kind of integral to how that game worked.
Yeah, but do you see it happening if they like kind of went away from the whole gamepad thing? Like they made it good for Switch? Like a Nintendo Switch Land kind of thing?
They could definitely do that. I think a Nintendo Land sequel where it's like every game is like mini game is different. It's like it's not going to be anything like the original Nintendo Land. I think it's possible we get a game like Nintendo Land. I just don't think it's going to be called Nintendo Land.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it'll share that same name either. I think it'll be like Nintendo's Super Fun Time. Something totally different.
Yeah.
What I have wanted though, do you care for this? I've always wanted more than anything a Switch party, kind of like Wii Party, like same characters, Mii's and stuff.
I would be so down. My only problem is I don't think Nintendo wants anything to do with the Mii's anymore.
Yeah, why is that?
I think they just got like so scared with how the Wii U like crash and burn. They're like, we need to like get rid of the Mii's entirely and like hide them inside like 3 different clicks in the settings, you know?
Yep. That's weird. Why would you get away from like, I don't listen. If there's ever a world out there where our Mii's become those Switch sports characters,
no,
take me away from Nintendo, please. Okay, please. That'd be bad. I wouldn't mind like what they should do is, have you played Miitopia?
No, I haven't.
You can like fully in depth, crazy amount customize your Mii's.
I have seen that. Yeah.
That should be the new way to be making Mii's that work for any game. They should do that.
Yeah.
Getting away from Mii's seems weird to me. But would Nintendo Land ever get a remake or sequel? I could see sequel, but a remake would be hard because the remake, it's for the gamepad, like you said. So
yeah,
it would just be kind of hard to do. Our next question comes from Let's Go Gaming. Do you think they will ever bring Cappy back from Mario Odyssey in a future Mario game? Now, I did see, Mac, your Discord is a picture of Cappy. So I feel
Cappy.
You might
love Cappy.
You might have a strong take
we're getting
here.
Cappy back for Mario Odyssey too, right?
Is that happening? I mean, it must. It probably has to. Are they making Odyssey 2?
We've been talking about Odyssey 2 on Switch Stop for literally, I think, 7 years now. We've been making videos like, when is Mario Odyssey 2 going to get announced? What's going to be in Mario Odyssey 2? I don't think we're ever getting it. I think they're just moving on to the next thing in the 3D Mario series. I could see Cappy coming back for like maybe the next Mario Kart or something. I think Cappy is one of Mario's most iconic sidekicks. I think probably more than like any other, maybe like a Luma. I think Cappy surpasses Lumas at this point.
Yeah, I'd say so. More popular, I feel.
Yeah, maybe that's just like recency bias, but also Odyssey came out 7 years ago, so I'm not sure how recent that is. No, I love Cappy. I think he will definitely come back in future games.
Even if it's not Odyssey?
He won't have that big of a role, but I think we could see him in like a Mario sports game or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. As like a character or what?
Character. Yeah. He'd like fly around like a boo or something.
That's that's cool. Yeah, bring him back in that way. Do that.
Yeah.
My answer, it's kind of simple. I don't know. I think if it's not Odyssey, they're not bringing him back, and he might appear. I think he would appear in a future like sports game, but not as a character. I think he would just be like as small as something like being the referee for a Mario tennis match, like something like off to the side. I would love him as a character, and I like your thinking, but I don't know if I see him coming back because like Lumas haven't really done too much.
That's kind of the problem. I think Pauline takes his spot in most of those games. Like Rosalina took the spots instead of the Lumas. I think Pauline's probably going to take Cappy's spot in most of those, spin-off games.
They should make a Smash Bros. Skin with the Cappy on.
Well,
Mario's
what we
head.
need is a 3D World sequel where you can unlock Pauline and she's wearing Cappy, and then she can, like how Rosalina has her spin jump, Pauline could have Cappy.
That's it. Mario 3D World 2. Make that.
Yes.
There you go. Solves all the problems. Expect the Ghost asks, what do you think is and are some of Nintendo's most underrated games or franchises, and why do you believe it deserves more recognition? Ooh.
Mine's probably super biased because it's one of my favorite games of all time is in this series. Mm-hmm. It's Punch-Out. I love Punch-Out. Punch-Out is so much fun. It like I think this has been said 1,000 times. It's a rhythm game disguised as a boxing game, but that is like it is so fun. Just like learning all of the patterns and like taking down these big fighters. Like it's all three of the main games are just so much fun. All three of them are.
Mm-hmm. I mostly enjoy the Wii version. How about you? Wii?
So my favorite is the NES version. Because I started playing it on an emulator on my laptop in English class in 10th grade. And didn't really pay attention. And I didn't really pay attention to class and would just kind of play it on there while I was, supposed to be listening. So I've got a lot of nostalgia for that game. I think it's so much fun. I played the Wii Punch-Out game back when I was a kid, but like I don't really remember it too much. And then I've just started playing the Super Punch-Out recently. But yeah.
Punch-Out Wii is my favorite. I've dibbled and dabbled in the others, but Punch-Out Wii I feel like was great. But
yeah.
Most underrated games or franchise. I'm going hot take here.
Yeah.
Please look past the most recent entry in this series. But give me some Chibi Robo.
Chibi Robo.
Give me the GameCube one, and the DS one. Ziplash. I stand by this statement, and I've said it before. If it was your first ever Chibi Robo game, which it was for me at the time, it's not horrible.
Yeah.
But if you played the other two, it kind of falls flat. I think there was a lot of meat on the Chibi Robo bone, and it never caught on. And I think it should come back in a way.
I've never played a Chibi Robo game, to be fair, but I think Chibi Robo just as a character is like one of the coolest like looking characters of all time. Like it's a shame that he never really took off, because I think his brand, I think he could have been a big Nintendo brand, big IP.
Of course, like just how he looks, like he's
just so
cute,
cool,
man. Yeah,
he's cute and cool all at the same time.
I would like, I mean, at least to see him in like Smash or something. Like that would be nice. Chibi Robo action, swinging around his little plug.
I remember seeing animations on Twitter for like a Smash like animation. I think he would fit well with Smash as well. So,
and he already has an amiibo. It would all work.
True. They won't even need to do any work. Yeah.
They're setting him up. But user asks, how did both of you start playing video games? This goes back, man.
Okay. My first console was a Nintendo DS Lite. I got it for Christmas. Can't even remember what year. And I played a lot of PictoChat on there. I got the DS without any games. And just my sister got a DS also at the same time, and we would just like PictoChat in the house to each other like all day. I'd play around with the clock. That was fun.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's crazy how you can just have fun doing stupid stuff like that when you're a kid.
Exactly, and now none of it's on Switch.
None of it. None of the cool stuff inside the actual console without a game is on there.
Yeah, now kids are like typing in random friend codes and praying somebody pops up. Like now that's what they're doing now. All right, go ahead. Sorry, go on.
No. And then I'd say the first game I really got into was Club Penguin. I was a big Club Penguin fan. A bunch of card jitsu days, just sitting at my computer, just like playing basically rock paper scissors, but it's cooler because they're doing karate or something. And then I say how I got into Nintendo like for real was probably like Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. My sister actually got the Wii for Christmas, I think the year after the Wii came out. And she never wanted me to play on it. So I'd be like sitting at her door, like throwing a fit until my parents would let me come in. And then I would steal Mario Galaxy from her, and a bunch of good times, that's how it goes.
Those are some core memories, dude.
Yeah.
Those are great. Now,
yeah,
I was pretty much born into it, honestly. I mean, one of like the first memories that I have ever is not me playing, but I had like a babysitter at the time who would walk me in. She would play, and me and my brother would almost watch her play Luigi's Mansion 1, which is why it's in my top 30. It's like so nostalgic for me now. We would watch her play that, and we were always kind of like a generation behind. We had GameCube, but this was like we're playing that in like 2010. Or, you know, like that's kind of like what, 9 years removed? Like that's a while, maybe less. That's a while after though.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first times I actually played a game, I played Shrek 2 on GameCube, but I had no idea what I was doing. When I could figure out what I was doing, it was Mario Bros. Wii, I think. That was it. So,
I just figured out what my first video game was.
Oh, which one?
So I was at the dentist. And the dentist had like a little play area, like in the waiting area, and they had a GBA right there. And inside of it was Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots.
No,
and I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen in my entire life.
I've never seen that game, but just off the title, I can tell you that's a fun one.
Such a good game. Such a good game.
That sounds like fun. But yeah, I mean, I was just like born into it. Like, my brother, like I guess my dad bought my family a GameCube, and so I guess we just played it. My first real game was probably Mario Bros. Wii. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Let me scroll down here so I can see our next question. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo asks, can you rate your favorite Nintendo systems from worst to first? That sounds like a lot. Let's do our top 3.
Top 3. And is this just home console or all together?
All
together. Okay. Let me think real quickly.
What would I do here? I think I have mine. If I should go first, then you can think.
Yeah, you go first.
So number 3, we have, and this is just such a hot take. Well, sorry, 3 is not. Number 1 is a hot take. 3 is the 3DS. Number 2, is the Switch. And do you have any idea what my number 1 is?
Is it the Wii?
Add a little U action at the end of that.
Wii U.
Dude, that console. Okay, so I stand by whatever console you were playing when you were like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is like, it just turns out to be the greatest thing in the world. And that was the Wii U for me. I have all the games now still. I put so many hours into it, coming home from school, grabbing pretzel dogs and playing Splatoon 1 on the Wii U. Greatest time of my life. The Wii U is not the best, but it's like my favorite. It's my favorite one. It's like, obviously Switch is better library and stuff and better everything, but it's my favorite one.
It's very funny because I firmly agree with what you said about like what console you're playing when you're 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
Except I took a gap right there. I played a lot of the Wii and the DS when I was like 7, 8, 9. Mm-hmm. And then I played a lot on my iPod Touch growing up. I played a bunch of the App Store games. I had a 3DS and I had a Wii U, didn't play on it that much. And then I got back into Nintendo like right before the Switch came out. So I would say my top 3 would be DS, Wii, and then Switch.
That's a good list too. Yeah, that's checks out, man. I also took a gap like that. Like my gap was from maybe like 2019 to 2020, which, sorry, it's not a very long gap, but like I wasn't in the loop at all with anything. Like I had no idea. If they dropped a new Mario game, I probably wouldn't have known until like a week later because it would have been so big at that time. But I was just not in the loop.
Kind of the time from like when Smash released to like when 3 All-Stars released. That's kind of, I kind of did a somewhat similar thing there.
Yeah, and now I kind of like regret it because I can't recall certain things from back then. Like I can't recall what happened in 2019. But the exciting thing is now that we're both back into it, we can be there for the whole Switch 2 everything.
Exactly.
So
I'm so excited for it.
That's gonna be fun. Do you think that it gets revealed this year, like later this year, or like early next year?
I think it'll be something similar to like what they did with the original Switch announcement, like in October. I think that makes the most sense to me. Like an announcement in October and then early release like spring 2025.
Yeah, that's the most ideal timeline. I mean, a few months ago, we were rumored to get the actual console later this year.
I think all of that was total. Rumors or leaks or whatever you call them. I feel like they said, "Oh, it was getting announced earlier this year," and then they were wrong, and like, "Oh, it got delayed."
Yep.
There wasn't any proof. There wasn't
there
any
was no
proof.
announcement.
They were just kind of covering their bases. Like, you know what? It was delayed. I'm still right.
Yeah. I just hope it's not like a Wii U situation, like where it's Switch, Switch. Like no one knows the difference.
They need to call it the Switch 2.
That's what I think, because that's the most obvious name, and that's like what everyone's been calling it for the past few years.
Yeah.
Switch 2. That's what everyone knows it as. I think that's the best name.
And I think it's cool because I think Nintendo finally like found their footing with this generation and like can just stick to a name, like how Microsoft sticks with Xbox, how Sony sticks with PlayStation. I think Switch is so iconic at this point that they can just stick with it.
They could definitely even Nintendo Switch 3 might. So like if you keep adding numbers, like, dude, everyone knows it's a new console at that point. But speaking of those rumors, last thing, all those rumors were saying Switch Pro imminent, releasing in 2022. It never happened. I don't.
None of it's real. I don't know how much it has to be said for like Nintendo Twitter people to stop retweeting it, but like 98% of those aren't real, and the other 1%, well, 2%, because it said 98, was Pyro, and he's gone. So
yeah, he's gone.
So we're just stuck with the other 90% of fake rumors and leaks.
However, I do believe that we will. I do believe the leakers timeline of later this year, released in spring next year. I believe that. But now it's also kind of like confirmed though, because
Yeah.
They said the good announcement.
Yeah.
Anyways, Switch 2, hopefully soon. Cobweb asks, would you pay 20 grand, a lot of money here, to get all future Nintendo consoles 1 year early with all launch games included? What a question. That's
20 grand?
That's a lot of money.
If I'm able to somehow like turn that into like a hustle where I'm able to leak stuff and people pay me for the leaks.
Yeah.
Like, sure, but like I don't even think that's profit. I don't think leaking is profitable.
I think what you could do, sorry to kind of butt in here.
No, yeah.
If you paid 20 grand, you would probably make that back over the course of the 1 year. Maybe let's say that, you pay the 20 grand. When you get the console 1 year early and you're the only person to have that, the viewers will probably make up for the 20 grand. Like
that's a good point.
You'll probably get like 10 grand before the console comes out to everybody. And then the next time that a console comes out, you'll probably, do the same thing and get it 1 year early with all the launch games. So like, what if you posted new 3D Mario early? Like people are going to flock to that. I think, I would do it.
So here's the thing. If we're paying 20 grand, is Nintendo still going to come at us, or are they getting the 20 grand? Because if we can leak all we want and like get views from that, but if the Nintendo ninjas come get us, we're done for.
Yeah, then I wouldn't do it because there's
okay, let's not think about this as like a business wise. Would you even like do this for like
as a
the
fan?
Games itself? I don't think I would do it. Like as like a fan. Yeah, that's what I meant.
As a fan, okay. As a fan, no.
I think being a part of the hype cycle is kind of half the fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like getting it early, like there's no one that you can relate to. Like, have you played the new 3D Mario? Oh, you never even heard of it? Okay. Never mind. Like it's not even, as a fan, it's just no one's talking about it. You have the game all alone. And what's crazy is like this is probably how somebody working at Nintendo feels. They have the games years early. They have new 3D Mario. They have the whole Emio game. And they're getting paid 20 grand probably.
I would do that.
Same. I would do that, dude. That's something. T the boy asks, what are your top 3 most played games on Switch? I don't know mine exactly, so if you want to like do some guesswork here, if you don't know, that's fine.
I know my top 2 for sure. I'm trying to think of what my number 3 is. You want me to just say it?
Yeah, sure.
I'd say my number 1 is 100% Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Ooh,
I play that game probably more than anything else. I think that's like the perfect game for like anybody that's like not super into video games, just like boot on the TV and like have a good time with friends. I think that's number 1. Mm-hmm. Splatoon 2. I played so much Splatoon in the first year it came out. Like I was playing probably a good 3 hours every single night. Mm. And over time that accumulated. A lot of it in private battles, actually playing like hide and seek and stuff like that. It wasn't a ladder climber. I was into the the fun game modes. I'm trying to think what number 3 would be.
Smash. What are the
I would say Smash, but like I don't actually think I have that many hours in it when I think about it. I think weirdly, this is easy. It's 3D All Stars.
Oh yeah, because there's 3 games in there.
There's 3 games in there.
Yeah, pretty easy to rack up hours.
Yeah.
That's a solid list. Mine would probably go. Yeah, I'll go from 1 to 3. So my first most game that I've put, or my game that I put most hours into, is Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
Okay.
Easy. I've put. Can you guess how many hours I put in there?
Okay, the game I have the most hours in is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I've got about, I think, 500 in there. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say you have a little more. I'm gonna say 600 hours.
Just shy of 3,000.
3,000?
This was the game.
This island better look like immaculate.
Oh, it's bad because I've done an island reset. So right now it's bad. But yes, I have played for just shy of 3,000 hours.
That's impressive.
Not really, because I've wasted so much time playing it. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But then number 2 doesn't even it's not even close to that. Not number 2. I think it would be Splatoon 2 without having the numbers in front of me. It's probably 200 hours or so. And then after that, I don't know. It probably is like a Mario Kart, because that game you can boot up for a endless amount of times.
Yeah,
it probably would be Mario Kart. So I got Animal Crossing, Splatoon 2, and then Mario Kart.
Similar list.
Very similar. Yeah, Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart.
Yes.
Man, good times. Because I feel like the game that you can sink the most hours in is, of course, the game that you can go back to over and over and over. Animal Crossing is that. Splatoon. Yeah, I mean the
Smash.
big 3. Smash as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. Doggo asks, what is the best 2DS special edition? Ooh. God. Oh, I know.
I think there's one cool one where I don't know if this was a 2DS or a 3DS, to be fair, but there's one that looks like the NES. It's got one of the face plates, I think. No, I think that may have been a 3DS.
I think it might have been.
I always thought that one looked really, really cool.
It does. It does indeed.
Yeah.
Man, I would probably... So I have 2 answers. One was never released anywhere but Japan.
Okay.
And that would be the Animal Crossing. There's an Animal Crossing 2DS XL. It says Animal Crossing on it. It's cool.
Yeah.
I think that was only in Japan. I could actually be wrong, because I feel like I have seen it in English before, but I could be wrong. I think it's only Japan. And then the one that was everywhere was the purple 2DS XL, because it looks like GameCube. That's cool.
Yeah.
That one's nice. That one's nice. I do like that. And that was randomly released in 2019 or 18. That was end of the life.
It is weird thinking how long the 3DS, 2DS systems lived on. Because I feel like they end 2017, but they don't. They continued and had games going for years and years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I remember getting annoyed about it while watching Nintendo Directs. Why are they still making games for this?
Yeah, give us new Switch games then. Oh, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn.
When we weren't getting Pokemon games for the Switch and still getting it for the 3DS, and what's going on?
Yeah, dude, just sad era, but now it's gone. My only fear is when Switch 2 Directs start happening.
Yeah.
Don't drop Switch exclusive. Here's the thing, they probably won't, because making a game for the 3DS and then making a game for the Switch, totally different things. I think if you're making a game for Switch, you'd be dumb not to put it on Switch 2. I think I think that'll all be fine. I think some games will be coming to Switch 2 and Switch 1, but scary times ahead. And then Camden, our final question: if you could grow a piranha plant in real life, would you? That's risky.
No. I would not do that. That sounds like a safety hazard.
But if it was on your side, you can bite all the animals that try to. If you're running a garden, you can have that, and it would eat all the animals.
It could be like a better scarecrow in a way.
Yes.
Yeah. Huh.
If it was against me, no way. If it was for me, yes. So if I didn't know,
tame it. You would need to tame it. Yeah.
If I didn't know if it would be for me or against me, I would say no. Don't even take the risk.
If you don't know, you say no.
Yes.
But also, imagine the amount of press you'd get from having a real life piranha plant. That would pay for a lot of stuff in your life. You grow the piranha plant, and then you've got a piranha plant exhibit, and then you get a gift shop, and you're a whole place on the stop of a road trip.
Yeah, plant it in front of your house and make it a $5 entry
attraction
to come.
Yeah,
look at the piranha plant. That's a power move too. I would lean towards no, though. I'm not sure. I feel growing a piranha plant. Do they have baby piranha plants? Because what would that look like? Day 2 of growing it?
I think it's just a sprout, and then it's I don't know.
Yeah. Or
it's weird. Yeah.
But what if it comes out singing like how they do in Mario Wonder?
Okay.
Like,
I would be down for that. That level in Super Mario Wonder, I have not laughed that hard, I think, ever. I was literally the entire level laughing for like 2 minutes straight. It was so funny.
Probably the best level. The only thing is, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
If you grew that would probably replace the cockle-doodle-doo. He's bro's gonna be singing in your backyard. Like that's not good. At like 4 a.m.
No, that is not good.
Piranha Plant. So we're saying no.
Yeah, I'm saying no.
We're saying no. Too many negatives for the Piranha Plant, but that'll do it for the Mario Matter episode 97. This one, Mac. Thank you so much for coming on. I say it to every guest, but we're gonna have you back on eventually. So yeah, I usually relate it to the topics of the podcast. So like if me and a guest talked about when will the Switch 2 launch, I bring them back on when it launches. I have to bring you. We're gonna bring you back for the game of the year, like the game year awards.
Really?
I think we have to because we already did this one. Okay.
Wow, that's an honor. I appreciate it.
If I remember to, which
the most mid games of the year.
Mid games of the year. We're gonna have 10 categories, 15. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Most mid soundtrack, most mid fighting game, most mid everything.
Indeed. We're going to have you back, but where can they find you online? I think I know, but you
can find me at Switch Stop on YouTube, and you can also find me at Macosaurus28 on Twitter if you care to see what I'm tweeting about, but that's about it.
Also, one funny story before we end here.
Yeah.
Well, should I mean, it's not a bad story. I just didn't want to like air out your Discord. I can cut this out if you want, but turn off your friend requests. To contact you, it was hard. I wanted to reach out to you on Twitter. Your DMs are off, which is understandable.
They're off?
So that they are.
I
off.
Actually didn't know that.
So then what happened is I tried my best to guess your Discord username and pray that you accepted my friend request. And look what happened. You're on the podcast. So I had to guess. It was so funny
when I got the friend request from EmSwizzle. I'm like, I recognize that name. I've seen your shorts before on YouTube, but like. He's not in the Switch Stop Discord. Like, I don't think we have any like mutual servers. I'm like, how did he find me? But look at us now.
I'm a mini detective. Like for our last guest, I went in like a Discord server that I knew that they'd be in. I searched them down. Like, bro, I'm doing some detective work over here.
Yeah.
Recently, I DM'd some guy on a platform that I've never used in my life, made an account just for it. I'm freaking gas crazy. But thank you for coming on. Go check out Switch Stop. I'm gonna have to get your other boys on. Thomas,
they would love to come on. Thomas and PJ.
There you go. Yeah,
they would love to be on.
They will be on hopefully in the future. But thank you so much for listening. We will see you all, or I will see you all. Sorry, Mac. I will see you all next week for Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. Hype levels for that, Mac?
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's
kind
of
confusing.
Been
thinking about it. Yeah.
That drops next week, though, so I'll see you all then. 5 stars, do the whole rating thing. I'll see you all then. Adios!
And leave a comment.
And leave a comment, please. Adios.